What's up, guys? This is Casey from Casey's Customs. In this series, I am building a hot rod truck for under $1,000, and in this video, we're starting to finish up the chop. Let's get going. So, after interrupting me for 3 months now, this son of a bitch decided to quit working today. It's -13 outside. You can see my breath. I have another little heater. It doesn't do anything like this one does. So I thought that was pretty ironic considering how many times it's been giving me shit lately. I've replaced 2 parts on it. It still isn't working. So I don't know what to do at this point. I'm gonna probably go buy another one, and I think there's one more thing I can change on this that might be the issue. If not, we're doing a full-blown office space scene on this. I'm gonna beat the shit out of it with a fucking sledgehammer. But these aren't cheap, so hopefully I can fix it. But I just spent 2 hours this morning fucking with it. I can't feel my fingers. I have another heater running while I'm working on this, and it's still nothing great. So it's probably time to go order another one of these, or go to Tractor Supply or Menards or somewhere and get one, because my little propane guy ain't cutting it. That sucks, but it's kind of fitting considering all the shit I've been talking about this heater. So, I have checked everywhere in town. Nobody has any heaters in stock. Apparently this cold front made everybody think they needed kerosene heaters. I don't understand. I even looked for other propane heaters. They're all gone as well. There's nothing in stock. So, I ordered some parts. I don't know when they're going to be there. If those parts don't work, we're going to sledgehammer the shit out of that heater, and it's going to be amazing. And it's going to be good content too, because that heater is basically the star of the show at this time. But for now, I brought my forge down from my other shop. It's doing pretty good. When I'm running that and that little propane heater, it's warm enough to work. It's not great, but it's warm enough to work. So we are going to continue, now that all that drama is over with, on the truck. What I'm gonna do before I start finishing up the chop, I'm really tired of worrying about sparks going down these holes. My gas tank is actually right here, and it's pretty much covered up, but I need to fill these in anyway, and I'm just always kind of thinking that there's going to be a spark that gets in there. So we're going to go ahead and work on getting some sheet metal cut and filling all this in, and then I'll probably grind some of the paint off of the roof so we can kind of start figuring out our chop, or finishing up our chop. But for now, let's get this shit all sealed in so I don't have to keep thinking I'm going to burn this place down. So, since I am trying to keep the original paint, trying to keep as much of it as possible, what I'll end up doing with all this metal I've added is we'll end up painting that to match the original patina. I wanted to just, I love the patina, but obviously we've had to cut a lot of stuff up. We've changed a lot of stuff. So we'll end up repainting that to match. But you can't weld over a painted surface. So I just came in here and cleaned up all my edges on where I'm going to be welding the top back on. And I tried not to go crazy. You know, I don't need to strip it all the way down. I just need an inch around each section. That way the weld will stick. But I'm going to try and throw the top up on there and we'll see where we're at. I'm going to have to split the roof still, so I know my back is going to be, it's going to be way off in the back, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it up there and get a good look at it. I'd like to see how well my posts are lining up. Top the last one, I believe I had to pull the post in a little bit. he's like fucking wrestling an octopus. So I made a relief cut right here that lets these pillars come in just a little bit. They only needed to come in like a ½ an inch, but this shit's all really strong, so you got to do a lot of pressure and a lot of cutting to get the ½ inch in. But got our front posts lined up. So now I'm going to cut the cab so we can stretch it and made it up better, because like I said, it's at least 2 inches off. So I'll probably end up making this cut and probably put a full, 4 or 6 inch piece in there. The bigger the piece I can make it, the more it'll match the contour. But let me show you the way I like to cut these. You would think, since this needs to be wider, you just come in here and you cut it, you widen it, and then you have to try and, remake all this shit. The way I like to do them, I like to run a line. I like to cut them up here, run a line all the way across there, and then cut it across. And what that lets me do, it almost acts like a Lego piece, and it will slide, but it will still be connected essentially, but it'll let me slide this piece back. And then I'll end up having a gap here and a gap here that I'll need to fix, but this will still all be lined up and touching. So I'll actually be able to put a couple spot welds on it right there that will actually kind of hold it all in place while I'm making my pieces. If you just cut it and then you try and make stuff, then all of a sudden I'm like holding the back of a cab up, trying to fit it up. It's a pain in the ass. So anytime you can do those like cuts where they stitch together, it makes life a lot easier. So I'm gonna go ahead and line this out and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I got them marked. That heater's on, and I'm just going to let it run because it's too goddamn cold to turn it off. So my apologies. It's negative 13 today again. Now that I got it marked, cut here, cut here, cut here. Whenever this is loose, we're just going to slide this right on back. Once these two line up, in theory, the top of this and the bottom of this should still be touching somewhere. We'll have a gap. I'll grind the paint off, throw a couple tacks in it, and then we'll have everything basically sitting where it's going to be. And then we got to start adding structure and start, putting all our Lego pieces back together. Something like that, baby. Now you can see what I was talking about with the zigzag. So the cool thing about that is whenever this slides, it also kind of helps you not only keep everything straight, but it also keeps track of how much crown everything has. When the structure's all gone, the crown can do whatever it wants. The crown is the curve of the roof. It can kind of do whatever it wants. And this, because our posts are pinched a little bit, this wants to dip down real big. I got a bar in the middle of it pushing it up. But if I would have just cut this Normally without this step, that would be really hard to judge that, to keep an eye on it. But with this, I know these are the exact same, and anything that isn't matching between these two is just because the metal's floppy, not because it's not aligned. So, bada bing. So I got all my posts tacked where they're not going anywhere. I got my roof tacked as well, so it's not going anywhere. It's still a little wobbly in the middle, but we'll fix that whenever we put this piece back in. But for now, since I'm starting to get my structure back, I want to reinstall my window. And if you watched the last video, you know that I didn't chop the window. I don't like to chop the windows on these because it's already really small anyway. So if you take, 2.5 inches out of it, it just looks like a mail slot. And I don't really like that on these trucks. It looks cool on other trucks. I don't love it on these trucks though. So, cut the whole rear window out. I'm gonna go ahead and grind all the paint off around the edges, and then we'll start fitting it up there and see what we gotta cut, see what we gotta do to get it to go back in place. So, let's do that. So, I got the edge ground all the way down. I have a big dent up here that has a bunch of bondo in it, and I need to get that out so I can, make a solid weld. It's on the cab too. Instead of, trying to just grind this whole mess out, I'm gonna heat it up and then just scrape it out with a screwdriver. So we're gonna do that. Also, I wanted to say, somebody asked, they said, why do you do so much time lapse? I want a longer video, I wanna see you working. This was a perfect example of why we use time lapse. This took 20 minutes to grind the paint off and then file all the edges smooth. I can't think of a more boring video than watching somebody grind something for 20 minutes. Also, I've done it before. I had longer, videos where it's just me welding and grinding. They tanked. Nobody wanted to really watch them. So that's why we do the time lapse. It's also easier to edit. Longer videos are kind of hard to do, especially when we upload weekly. I'd rather have a 15-minute video every week than one video a month that's an hour long. Especially being a smaller channel. I need to keep the content going so that we get more followers and stuff. So that's why we do the time lapse. It's easier to edit. It's easier to do a lot of stuff. Also, it just looks a little bit better to me as well. So let's get this damn bondo out real quick. Fire! Let's see what happens. It's a good sized dent. There we go. There we go. It can't be a problem when it's liquid, baby. Haha. Like a glove, baby. Okay, so we got some trimming to do. It's actually closer than it looks. All right, let's try this again. All right, take two. Should be trimmed down enough now. That ain't too bad right there. Okay. Need to take a bunch of measurements now to make sure it's square. Finally got everything measured right, got everything trimmed where it'll sit flush. Threw a couple tack welds on it. It still needs fully welded, but it's square, it's straight, it's all lined up, everything lined up real well. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next thing. Basically, whenever the chop is done, I'll end up having like a full day of welding. I'll probably do that in the next video. Thank you guys very much for watching. As you can see, we have got the roof put back on. Everything's pretty sturdy. Everything's, not going anywhere. It's welded enough where I don't have to worry about anything kind of getting out of place. But I probably have a full day's worth of welding left. Just because it's tacked on this side means nothing, because you have to make a weld, obviously, all the way around each post. So I got a ton of welding to do inside. So, a bunch of welding to do. I'll end up doing that on the next episode. On the next video, I also would like to get it running and driving. I'd like to take it for a spin. I still haven't really taken it for a drive yet. Right now, I have an issue with my fuel pump not working. That's about the only reason I haven't taken it out yet. But it was working fine, and then I started putting a seat in and out. I think I might have blown a fuse or something. It's most likely something small. But hopefully in the next episode, we can take it for a spin, do some welding on the chop, and I want to finish up the bed. So hopefully we can do some of that on the next episode. Please stay tuned. I upload every week. Starting to finally look like a truck. I really am excited for the drive. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So stay tuned. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good shit they tell you to do at the end of videos, and check out some more of my other videos. Peace.
Sitting like a boss, bring the workers out. Press on the exhaust, we be skirts now. No, we not the same, what you talking about? Got me all up in your matches, must have heard around. How that sound, yeah, that sound.